Hi, gang. Bob Boving here to bring you the Mystery Project and another new episode of Clean Sweep. It can't really be called eavesdropping if you're cleaning someone's home when the answering machine records a message. But for Bonnie Marsden, it can launch the same kind of trouble. The play is called Play Mystery for Me. Deborah Allen and Richard Donat star as Bonnie and Ben Marsden.
Hello. I bet you'd be Bonnie Marsden.
And you'd be Bob Smiley.
Guilty. Come on in.
I'd have known as soon as you said hello. We hear you all the time at home doing the weather reports and the local news and that.
I hope you don't blame me for the weather.
I wish I could blame somebody for the weather.
Just blame me for the bad jokes. Well, as you can see, it's not that big an apartment. I should be doing my own spring cleaning. But the station manager's a little peed off at me, so he's got me doing double shifts and split shifts and swing shifts and, well, guess you could say I'm on his shift list.
Why?
Well, last month he had me filling in for a week on the overnight classical music show. Not my favorite assignment. So one night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, a listener called in a request for the Four Seasons, and I played a Frankie Valli record. Walk like a man, fast as you can.
Was that a joke?
Station manager didn't think so. So anyway, I got to head in and do another swing shift now. I should be back around dinner time.
I should be done by then.
You're kidding.
It's not that big an apartment.
I left the answering machine on. If there's anything that sounds urgent, the station number's by the phone. But it's not likely. See you around dinner time then. And thanks.
See ya. Nice to put a face to the voice.
Smiley here. Well, not here, or at least I can't come to the phone just now. But if you want to leave a short message, just wait for the beep. You beep.
Sweet smile, sweet smile, sweet, bright eyes. You can't, don't never, not right. Ruefully, old lies. Old life.
What?
I'm home, dear. Jeez, the place looks great, Bonnie. What do I owe you?
$30.
For 4 hours?
Actually, I finished a while ago. I just figured I'd sit and finish my thermos and wait for you. Thanks.
Thank you. My ex drops by, I'll show off how good I've got at house cleaning. Except she won't believe I did it.
There was only one phone message. Well, not really a message. It was kind of strange.
Strange?
Maybe it was just some friend of yours playing a joke.
Sweet smile, sweet, bright eyes. You can't,
Jesus.
don't never.
Jesus. Oh, hell.
What's wrong? Can I get you a glass of water?
More than water. There's a bottle of white wine open in the fridge. You might as well grab a glass for yourself, too, if you want. Just when you think you put the past in the past, it jumps up and bites you.
Well, who is she, the woman on the tape?
I don't have a clue. It's kind of hard to tell with a voice all twisted up like that. Sorry to be so damn foolish, Bonnie, about a silly crank phone call.
That's not foolish.
But I kind of... There's something that happened a long time ago. Howie Murphy.
I know that name from somewhere.
20 years ago. Well, 30 now. He was a DJ at the station.
The Murph and Smiley show.
You remember?
Sort of. But there was something else. Something happened to him.
There was this listener who got kind of fixated on me. Kansas City Star, that's what I are. Homosexual gentleman. Well, I guess I should say gay these days. Kept phoning me up like he thought I wanted to be his best friend. Well, those were the innocent days when no one imagined helter-skelter.
The parking lot.
That's right. You see, Murph and I were always playing practical jokes on each other. So I thought it'd be funny to tell the fixated phone caller that I wasn't that way inclined, but Murph was. So Murph started getting the phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. Good joke. Only it turned out the guy wasn't just fixated. He was nuts. One night he waited for Murph in the studio parking lot and...
shot Howie Murphy and then shot himself.
Yeah. I was just pulling in for the night shift. Wasn't much left of Murph's face. So, I mean, the woman who left that phone message probably just forgot to take her morning tonic and dialed the wrong number. But it gets me kind of spooked and thinking back on what I did to Murph.
Well, one thing has changed since those days.
What's that?
Now you've got Callminder on your phone. 0321.
Hello?
Is your mother there?
Huh? Why would my mom be here?
She doesn't live with you?
Lady, you got the wrong number. This is the payphone outside the Quickway. I'm trying to call a friend of mine. Goodbye.
Payphone.
So much for that.
Not necessarily. We've got the phone exchange. There can't be that many Quickway stores in the general area.
Don't worry about it, Bonnie. I appreciate you trying to help me out, but it's probably nothing but pranksters. I just get spooked because of old history.
Maybe.
I'll be here to let you in Tuesday morning. If I don't get caught dealing from the bottom of the deck.
Good morning. You look like you had a rough weekend. Hope it was fun.
Some parts. I got a couple more phone messages.
From that woman? What'd she say?
Well, you can hear for yourself if you want. I dubbed them all onto one cassette to see if I could make any sense of them all together.
Hey, you shouldn't do what? It's wrong, stealing people's souls. Look, cowboy, happy. Oh, it's a beaver. Red.
The rest of it's all the same. The only sense I can make out of it is that she's angry at me about something.
Maybe angry at the world. Are they all from the same payphone number?
Yeah, but at way different times. One Friday evening, one Monday afternoon. It's always when I'm on the air. But the shifts I'm working these days, a detective would have to stake out that phone booth at all hours. Well, I gotta get into the station.
And park in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Bob, would it be worth $10 to you to get this solved?
Sure. But why the $10?
For a bribe.
Who can you bribe for $10 these days?
Kids.
Huh?
Hello there. Oh, me? Uh-huh. Do you hang around outside the Quickway a lot?
You some kind of social worker or something?
No. How'd you like to make $10 just by hanging outside the Quickway like you do anyway?
How?
All you have to do is keep a pencil and a piece of paper in your pocket. Write down the day and the time whenever you see a woman using that payphone. Maybe you can get a friend to do it for you when you're not around. Here's a $10 bill. I'll come back on Friday before supper time. And if you give me a list, I'll give her the other half, and you can scotch tape it back together.
You doing some kind of survey or something? What's this about?
It's about $10.
Melissa home from school yet?
Not quite.
Good. Maybe I got time to wipe the grunge off of something and bring it in before she gets here.
Wipe the grunge off what?
Well, the old lady that hired me to clear the junk out of her garage, it was a little electric keyboardy, piano-y kind of thing her grandchildren used to play with. Still works, just needs new batteries. So if I can get the dust and grunge off it before Melissa gets home...
Not the dishcloth.
Oh.
I'll get you a rag.
Oh, it's okay. I know where they are.
Oh, geez, it's Friday and after school.
Yeah.
So, were there any more of those phone calls since Tuesday?
One. Yesterday. 5:17 p.m. while I was at the station doing the driving home show. Same old stuff about folk and beaver and stealing our soul.
Well, maybe this will be the last one. I'll go find out whether you got your $10 worth and call you back in a few hours.
I'm home!
And I'm gone. So, you got a list for me?
You got half a $10 bill?
I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 4:30, Mrs. Blanchard. 5:15. Nutty laddie?
Nutty lady.
What grade are you in?
What difference does it make?
I guess none. What nutty lady?
One of the ones from that blue house down the road. The old lady that owns the place gets paid by the government to rent out rooms to nutty ladies. 3 or 4 of them living there.
A managed care home.
Huh? Are you sure you ain't a social worker?
No, I just read newspapers. Which of those nutty ladies made the phone call?
Well, she's kind of tall, got black and white hair, talks to herself. When it ain't raining, sometimes even when it is, she sits on the bench out behind the church. Probably there now.
Thanks.
You got anything more you want to know about the payphone?
I'll let you know. Hi.
Hello.
Mind if I sit here?
Free bench, free world, free Cameron Curley.
My name's Bonnie. What's yours?
Lena.
Do you listen to the radio much, Lena?
Sometimes I watch TV. I'm watching TV now, but I lost the channel changer. I have to listen to radio in the home all the time. Miss Metzger plays it in the kitchen always, except when she goes to sleep.
Must drive you...
I'm already there.
Does Mrs. Metzger always have it tuned to the same station? The one with Bob Smiley on it?
It's not right. After all these years, they should know. You got quarter?
I left my purse in the car.
I'm not a beggar, you know.
I know. I gotta go.
Go carefully.
I will.
Always go carefully.
In a minute, honey. Hello?
Mrs. Marsden, it's Corporal Kowalczyk.
Oh, hi.
I just thought you'd want to know that the tapes Mr. Smiley had so perfectly matched Lena Patterson's voice that there's no doubt she was making the harassing phone calls. She's been transferred to a forensic ward in Halifax.
Oh.
You don't sound very happy about solving the case.
Oh, I am. It's just... talking to her, she didn't seem all that harmful. More like hurt herself.
Well, she definitely hasn't had an easy life. According to her file, she's Métis from Saskatchewan. Her father was a status Indian, so technically she is too. When she was 15, she married a transient Nova Scotian.
15?
and he brought her back here. Eventually, he couldn't cope with her increasing schizophrenia, so after some years in institutions, she became a permanent outpatient, which these days means the health department gives her meds and rent and rubber stamps reports.
What a sin.
In her case, there isn't much choice. The only family she has is a half-brother out west, and he's in no position to care for her. I know you feel sympathy for her, Bonnie. So do I. But a perpetrator with a psychiatric history, you never know how far they'll go. You may have saved Mr. Smiley's life.
Maybe.
So, once again, thanks for helping out. Bye now.
Bye.
Mommy?
I'm coming, Melissa. What do you want me to hear?
Daddy taught me how to play piano.
Oh, really? And where did he learn?
Oh, I just picked out the tune by guessing ear, and it doesn't take much of an ear to...
Listen! From the valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true.
That's wonderful, Melissa.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to write out the words for you, Pumpkin. You got the verses kind of mixed together.
Whatever gave you the notion to start with that one instead of something like Farewell to Nova Scotia?
Oh, I don't know. Who knows why this notion of that creeps into my so-called mind. Oh, now as you make me think of it, I guess it was what you told me about them crazy phone calls. That woman saying bright eyes and sweet smile.
Red River.
Huh?
I wonder.
Wonder what?
I wonder if Corporal Qualchuck's got a phone number for that half-brother out west.
Hello?
Hello, is this Edwin Beardy?
Who's asking?
Oh, my name's Bonnie Marsden. I'm calling from Nova Scotia.
Oh?
I know, I met your sister Lena.
Half-sister.
Right. I just wanted to ask you, this may sound like a foolish question, but is there something about her and the Red River Valley? I mean the song.
Funny you should ask that. When we were in the residential school, she got in a lot of trouble over that. Music class, the teacher got us singing that, and Lena wouldn't sing it the way it was written down. And the cowboy who loved you so true, but the way she learned it from my great-grandmother. And the half-breed who loved you so true. The teacher thought it was an insult, and he kept punishing her, but she wouldn't change. He punished her bad.
What a sin.
Worse than that, turned out my sister was right, and so was my great-grandmother. A couple of years ago, Lena called me long-distance collect, all excited, from a library in Halifax. People like her spend a lot of time in places like public libraries where it's warm and it don't cost nothing. She'd found this little booklet by a woman named Edith Folk.
Folk?
Yeah, that's what I said. Anyways, this little booklet by this Edith Folk woman was kind of apology for a big book she'd written that said the Red River Valley was a cowboy song from Texas, like everybody figured it was. But then she'd got straightened out by a letter from Lord...
Beaverbrook.
That's the guy, saying his mother used to sing him that song back before it first got called a cowboy song. And it was really about fur traders and Métis in our Red River Valley.
Stealing a people's soul.
Huh?
Oh, just something your sister said. I guess I'd get pretty aggravated if everybody in the world sang this old cowboy song called Farewell to Amarillo, and I knew it was really Farewell to Nova Scotia. Maybe your sister's not so crazy after all.
Oh, she's crazy, all right.
Maybe, but not crazy enough to spend the rest of her life in a forensic ward. And I put her there.
Oh, hi, Bonnie. I was just going to call you to thank you for...
That's okay. Look, I was wondering, if there was a way to sort things out so that Lena Patterson would never phone you or trouble you again, would you drop the complaint?
Well, then I'd have nothing to complain about, would I?
Do you keep a record of the music you play? Like back as far as the first day I was cleaning your apartment and the first phone call came in?
I've got the logbook right here. Cleaning up for the end of the month. Just a sec.
Is there a chance that you might have played that morning the Red River Valley?
Mm-hmm. Good chance. A lot of old-timey cowboy country fans in our listening area. Yep. 10:35 a.m. Slim Whitman singing the Red River Valley.
Look, I don't know if you can arrange this. Hi. Remember me?
You watch TV. Bonnie.
Yeah, and I listen to the radio, too. I brought one with me, too, but it took me a while to get in here. So let's see.
Let's listen.
A treat for you today. Live in the studio, a local hero and my old buddy, Buddy McCaskill, to sing and play that grand old Canadian folk song.
Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the half-breed that loved you so true.
From this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. Don't forget the Red River Valley and the half-breed that loves you so well.
Oh, you're home.
I hope so.
Oh, just this minute got into bed. Waited up for you, but did you figure as long as you were in Halifax you might as well take a run over to BEI?
No, but before I could even get started home, I had to wait around to talk to one of the doctors and then stick around while he called Bob Smiley.
So it worked? I mean, I listened to the program and heard they played the song, but it worked?
Well, she lit all up when the right words came out and sang along. And Bob Smiley sounded some relieved when I told him over the phone.
So he's going to drop the complaint?
Well, it still has to work its way through the system, but sounds like they'll try letting her back out to where she was before.
Didn't sound like that was a holiday camp.
It's a lot better than the place she's in now. At least she'll be able to sit on her park bench and listen to the birds.
So did they make you an honorary psychiatrist?
Not hardly. All I did was find a Band-Aid for somebody with 57 broken bones.
That's more than anybody else did.
I've never had to think about... You know how when one of the kids would be staring out a window or playing with a popsicle stick or something, and we'd say, she's off in her own little world.
Darcy more than the other three. Yeah?
It sounded like a cute thing to say. But if you think of somebody really in their own little world, stuck there and can't get out and nobody can get in, we all of us go off on our own mental tangents from time to time.
You do?
Imagining this or that. But then your husband or one of your kids says something or does something that reminds you what's real. Without that, well, you could just keep on drifting further and further out until no one can hear you.
Well, she had a husband, didn't she? Until she got too far gone for him to handle. And she might have kids somewhere. And she's got a brother.
Half-brother. He made a point of pointing that out. I guess they all must have tried.
You can't do anything for her, Bonnie. That's why we got psychiatrists and clinics and all that.
And all they can do for her is keep her sedated. Park her in a place where she'll have a bed and something to eat.
Seems better than the days when they would have just chained her to a wall and beat her with a stick when she got too loud. But who knows? Maybe she'd rather be in her own little world than anywhere else. Maybe she doesn't want anybody else in there. People can disappoint you.
Yeah, they can. You try and live with it.
Anyway, sure is lucky for that Lena woman that you got me around to figure things out for you.
Figure out what thing?
Well, I'm the one that brought that little piano home for Melissa and took it in mind to start her out with that song. Geez, trying to get a little credit around here.
So it was all part of your master plan.
Well, plans are one thing, but sometimes you have to improvise a little with your materials.
You got a master plan now, or do you want to improvise?
You have just heard Play Mystery for Me, written by Elf Silver, the newest episode of Clean Sweep. In the cast, Deborah Allen was Bonnie Marsden, and Richard Donak was her husband, Ben. The others in the cast were George Jordan as Bob Smiley, Michael Pellerin as Corporal Kowalchuk, Ashley Swain as Melissa, Peggy Ann Thayer as Lena Patterson, Patricia Zintilli as Sandy, Billy Morasti was heard as Edwin Beardy, and Gordon Stobie sang as Buddy McCaskill. The music was composed by Scott McMillan and David McIsaac, and was performed by Gordon Stobie, Jamie Gatti, and Andre Lacroix, along with the two composers. The recording engineer was Pat Martin. Sound effects, Dermot Kenny. The associate producer was Peggy Hemsworth. Casting was by John Dunsworth and Alex Duncan. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. Clean Sweep was produced and directed in CBC Radio's Halifax Production Center by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. I'm Bob Bobing, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments.
This has been a presentation of XM Sonic Theater.